Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, we're going to come to a little crossroads at the bottom with a set of traffic lights, and it's the tree-lined avenue from the former Debenhams roundabout all the way down to downtown Paradise, which of course is the downtown Cape of Paphos Harbour and Promenade and main hotels area. And at this little crossroads we're going to go straight through it, and we're going to pass through Universal, and we're going to go through some of the, well, what should we call them, back streets of Lower Paphos, and eventually we're going to work our way through to the Tomb of the Kings Avenue. So sit back and relax, kick off the flip-flops and pour yourself a glass of the Nigel Big Guns, because we're going to have a nice pleasant drive, and I'm pretty sure that you can see that that sky, well, it's blue. The sea, I promise you, it's pretty blue. Mr. Paul is dressed head to toe in blue, so all it's actually missing, of course, is you. So why not get yourselves on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy, because Cyprus, Marika and myself are quite simply waiting for you. So a very, very good morning to everyone who's tuned in on this, well, little episode of Mr. Paul's Breakfast Club. Let's go and check in the Marika and me lounge and see what's going on with the Dolly Birds. They are the three superstars known as Miss Vivian, one of the greatest cheese cook makers in the world. You've got the Dolly Bird known as Miss Nessie. She makes a fantastic frappuccino, I promise you that. And of course the butcher's wife, Ian the Butcher, all the way from downtown in Cheshire, Frodsham, Miss Beverly. Absolute superstar amongst superstars, that's for sure. And running around taking all your orders, well, that's the one and only Lord Dave Jono. And if you want a tip, you want to outrun the bookies, shall we say, that's the man to go to. If you've got a horse that you fancy, check it out with him, and he'll give you the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs before you go and lose your money, that's for sure. Right, let's go and see where we are now. We're going to cut through here. We're technically still in Universal, but slowly but surely we're going to enter into downtown Paphos town, if you understand me. And then we're going to cut through Russian Road, and then we're going to cut through Lower Old Town, and then eventually we're going to join the Tomb of the Kings Avenue, or Tomb of the Kings Road, and we're going to be making our way out and towards Paya. Yes, we spend a lot of time going to Paya. Why is Paya so popular? That's what you're wondering. Well, it's one of those areas which was designated many, many years ago as a place for foreigners to be able to buy. So that was its start, shall we say. And then, of course, as time went on, the resort of Coral Bay developed. So, of course, lots of people came out on holiday, fell in love with the place, bought villas, bought bungalows. I think you're getting the idea. It's how most tourist destinations start to form. Now, there's a little dog in front of us. He was wondering about the Sherlock Holmes-ness of the road service, and he was wondering where the hell is the pavement. Anyway, I think he's gone in for his breakfast now. Talking about Sherlock Holmes-ness of the roads, look at this road. Oh, so sweet, Lady Caroline. Get your jumper on a memory foam pillow, but just before you do, pour a tot or two for your partner in crime, the one and only Lord Nigel Big Guns, because this section of road could quite possibly be the worst section in the whole of Paphos. Although there is a bit of a competition. There's an awful lot of bad bits of road in Paphos, if you understand me. I'd like to buy a Mercedes S-Class in the hope that I can smooth out the roads. And to be honest, it's not doing that good a job because the roads are that bad. But I was in a Mercedes C-Class the other day, and I tell you, I had to go to the dentist afterwards because all of my teeth fell out. And not long before that, I was in a Pajero, and oh, the noise and the rattles and the shakes was horrendous. So I'm so happy to be back into my rather nice S-Class Mercedes. So on that note, by the way, if you're curious to know how is the channel funded, well, you go and hit the like. That tells YouTube that you like us. Perhaps if you want to keep coming back, hit the subscribe. But if you want to really support the channel and keep us making these videos especially for you, why not go through to our About page, where you can consider to hit the Buy Me a Coffee icon and buy us a coffee or two. We promise to liquefy your cash into coffee in the mornings, and more often than not into benzene, which is liquid petroleum, which will go into the tank, which of course will allow us to keep driving around especially for you. And if there's somewhere special that you would like us to go, well, you drop it in the comments, and you know what you have to do, a bit like Daniel Mahoney, and we went and had a bit of a mosey on down in and around the Universal area, and showed him the improvements that are going on at the Paphos Diner. So Buy Me a Coffee is how it all works. What's this chappie doing? Let's let him go. There we are. There's no point in being uncourteous, as I say on the roads. There's plenty of that going on already, shall we say. There's too many people whizzing around in a big rush, and they never get there early. You understand me? If you started out late, you're always going to be late. It doesn't matter what you do, how fast you drive, you're always going to be late. Anyway, that's the rant over. So I tend to drive quite courteously and quite slowly, because well, my trade, car body shop mechanics, we understand that if you hammer a car, it's not a good thing. Let's let this bus come round, because that's a very, very difficult turn indeed. Let's see if he can get through. Now we've got a problem, haven't we? Now he's been courteous to us. There we are. Bit of a tight road, to be honest, isn't it, for a big bus? Big corner. And if you remember in a previous video, there was a gentleman that parked an old Mercedes on the corner there and made it very, very difficult. Get on your own side of the road, young man. There we are. That man wants to cut the corner. So there we are. Again, there's an awful lot of people in the world, not just in Paphos, not just in Cyprus, that believe the roads are specially for them. And people tend to get irate when they're driving, don't they? We have this thing called road rage, but I don't tend to get that irate. Although I do carry a rubber mallet for those special occasions. And here we go. Here's some tree cutting down. This is the Electricity Authority of Cyprus, and as you can see, they are cutting down some of these, well, overhanging branches, isn't it? Because they are interfering with the electricity lines, and we understand that could be catastrophic. So they're doing a very, very important deal indeed, and he's got a very nice beard and a pleasant smile. There we are. So slowly but surely now we are, well, we're to the rear of the Tomb of the Kings area. If you happen to have been to Cyprus a few times, perhaps you'll understand where I am. And just over yonder, there's a very nice church just up there, you can see. And there's also a cafe up there as well. I just can't remember what it's called. And it's got a spectacular view out, down over Tomb of the Kings area and out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. Now, let's go and check with the breakfast crew and see how the girls are doing. They are cooking up a froth, as I say. Dave Jono is running around taking all the orders and giving out his little tips. But there's quite a few superstars in town, as we've come to understand. The girl in charge of Marie Curie, she's in charge of pretty much about everything, if you understand me. Her name is the one and only Dame Anne, and she's got a special sofa there, and she's got a special place next to her for our lawyer, and her name is, well, she's a star, just to let you know, and she's a superstar amongst superstars, and her name is Miss Anna Star, and the greatest lawyer in downtown Poland, and very, very soon she will be chuchka dancing down the main Cato Paphos promenade with Miss Ochin Gracivia Labouf, and we're looking forward to that one, that's for sure. Now on that sofa we have the two porn stars. So on the left hand side we have the man known as Viking Ronnie, originally from Israel, and now he lives in downtown Denmark. That's where he is at the moment, but he's planning on relocating to Cyprus in the not too distant future. He has a love affair with Cyprus, and he comes here pretty much about every year, and he loves to wander around from Paphos to Limassol to Larnaca to Nicosia, and he loves to take photographs, and he's an excellent photographer, and we've seen some of his portfolio. You can go and hunt for it on the internet, and you can even download them as well, by the way. I'll have to get the web address, or the sharing site that he puts his photographs on, so people can go and have a look. On the other arm we have another Ronnie, and he's the gentleman who's in charge of all of the policing on Marie Curie, and he's the guy that gets me off if I go through red lights. Now this one was, well, we'll stop at this one because it changed just before I got there, and hopefully you got a great view out over those well, bit of hedging in front of us out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. His name is the one and only Commissioner Ronnie Miller, all the way up in Scotland. And we did a drive-by of his house the other day. We didn't do any shooting, but it appears that his car was not in its parking space. So someone, Mr. Ronnie Miller, has stolen your car. Did you see that illegal U-turn over there? There we are. A lady in a Honda Jazz did a full U-turn, even though there's a big sign over there saying it's illegal. But there we go. We're in Cyprus, and you can do pretty much whatever you want in a car. If you watch the average police officer, he's driving around with well, 1 foot hanging out the window, 2 arms hanging out either side, a cigarette in his mouth, and a frappe between his legs. There we go. What can I say? So if you are driving around in downtown Paphos, please take extra care. Whether you've borrowed a car, stolen a car, been given a car, or perhaps even rented a car, be extra careful. And as you can see, it's a truly spectacular day in Paphos today. If you're curious to know, perhaps if your name is Miss Dawn, you got a husband called Mr. Sean, and a while back you stole a cat all the way from Cyprus called Miss Daisy, and you've got a dog called Bobo. The temperature today at 10 o'clock in the morning is 18 degrees. So it's probably, I would say, a little bit warmer than downtown Derbyshire. That's some superstars. That's a Miss Dawn and a Mr. Sean, who moseyed on down to Paphos last week, and we bumped into them twice and had a great time. They are true superstars in the family, that's for sure. And if anybody wants to meet us, all you have to do is drop it into the comments, and we will do our very best to come and find you or to meet you somewhere. We'd like to meet the world, and that's the truth. Every person that joins the family of Marika and me is unbelievably special to us, and each and every single person has a place in our heart. That is for sure. And we thank everyone for watching us. We thank every person that buys us a coffee. We thank every person that goes through to the super thanks. That's another way that you can fund us, by the way. If you look where you click the like, and if you scroll across, there's the icons for download, and eventually you will get to a button that says thanks with a $, and you can click onto that and contribute to us £1 or $1 or any amount that you actually want. And it's a very big thank you to everyone who is choosing to help to keep the channel afloat. It's a spectacular day, I'm sure you can see, and that is the King Eleathan Hotel that we've just gone past. And whenever I think of that hotel, I always think of the superstars, my cousin King James, his Queen Kyrene, and of course they have a daughter, which must mean that she must be a princess, and hopefully there is a smile that is starting to beam on her face. She is pondering, am I going to get a rather nice blueberry cheesecake cupcake when I come to downtown Cyprus? Well, you never know, Princess Darling. We might pop to Mr. Alan in his cake shop in the Old Town and see if he can make a special cake especially for you. And there's some superstars all the way over in Hanbridge in Chester, and they're coming out very soon to celebrate their wedding vows and renew them, and we're going to go and catch up with them in the Calafius, I think that's how you say it, village tourist area in downtown Tomb of the Kings. And they like to do a little bit of archery, so we're going to go and film them. And you never know, they may have a plan perhaps to use us as the target. I don't know, you know, because I'm from Wales and he's from Chester, so you never know. But hopefully we're going to have a great time. And they want to go up and see Mr. Alain, who is a Frenchman who has a cake shop in the Old Town, because he likes to make cakes that are gluten-free. And we understand many people now understand the benefits of that. In fact, I think I'm going to pop up there a bit later, have a word with Mr. Alain, all the way from France, and I think I might have a cake and a cappuccino with him. I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you like what you see, why not hit the like, click subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of my madness. This is the Chlorakas Crossroads. That's the Leonardo Laura Beach and Splash Resort Hotel. Spectacular hotel, beachfront location. You probably will not find a better hotel than that. Thanks for watching.